Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Today we have an incredible guest with us today, Ashley Garner. He's a seasoned real estate investor and the owner of ABG Multifamily. He's based out of Wilmington, North Carolina. He's built a strong reputation for transforming multifamily properties and creating long-term value in the real estate market. So today we're going to dive into his journey from how he got started into real estate investing, the strategy he uses to identify, acquire, and optimize multifamily properties. And we're also going to explore his approach to navigating market shifts, scaling a portfolio, and the key lessons he's learned along the way. So if you're an investor looking to grow in the multifamily space or just curious about the world of real estate, this is an episode you're not going to want to miss, so stay tuned. So Ashley, my friend, welcome to the show. I'm super excited to talk with you today, man. So why don't you just introduce the audience, your background, who you are, and how you got here.
Yeah, Christian, thanks. Thanks very much. I appreciate the opportunity to be on and talk to everybody. Talking about real estate and specifically investment real estate is like my favorite thing. So this is a treat for me. So I've been in real estate my whole life. I like to say jokingly that I've never had a real job. And I'm not sure that's a compliment. It just means I'm a bad employee. So
Yeah.
But I got my broker's license in North Carolina in 1994, so that's a long time ago.
Wow.
And I kind of grew up in my dad was always into something, flipping a house or buying a rental or buying a single family house and internally subdividing it into 2 or 3 units and things like that. So I kind of grew up in that business, around it all the time. And I've had a long and wonderful career as a residential real estate broker also, and still continue in that and enjoy it very much. I have a small team of people that work with me on that. But most of my time, like most being like 99.9% of my time, is spent on multifamily apartments. And I kind of went on this journey. Like I said, I grew up in the business. And then when I started buying things on my own account, I did what I hear most people say that they do, which is like they start with a single family and then they like it. So they buy another one, and then maybe they buy a duplex and a triplex. And I did all of that. And I always knew, I'm a big believer in the pursuit of financial freedom, right?
Mhm.
So it's just math to me in order to get to that point. And I realized pretty quick that I'm not that old, but I'm already mathematically eliminated from reaching my goals if I don't pick up the number of units pretty quick.
Right.
And so I made a real effort to educate myself and force myself out of the comfort zone of the smaller number of units into larger. So I got a 10 unit place in 2013 that I still own. And then I went from there to 32 units, 37 units. And we just like a month ago acquired a property that's 196 units.
Wow.
And we are hoping to close another one in 2025 to kind of continue that scaling up.
Let's
And that
go.
brings us pretty much
That's
where we
awesome.
are right now.
That's awesome, man. So how did you land your first deal? Could you talk about how that happened?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah. I think that the 10 unit one is well, I mean, they're all about the same. I was always I'm always on the hunt, right? So and I was and still am a residential broker, so I had access to the MLS and things like that. But the deals didn't really come through there as much as just being connected, right?
Yeah.
So I had my area, which at the time was a pretty specific area in Wilmington, and I just kind of was always there. I was always walking around there or researching a house or talking to the neighbors and those types of people, and things just kind of came about. That which is really how this all works. It's all relationship stuff.
Absolutely.
It's really, that's the whole connection to everything.
I was just about to say
And
the
that's
same
really,
thing.
so I found, yeah. So I found the deal or the connection, and then, you run the spreadsheet, you do the math, and like, well, looks like it works. And so let's give it a go.
Yeah.
And, at the beginning and all the way through really the 32 unit, I used my own money, right? My own like down payment on my own equity or down payment on the loan. And so that was a stretch, especially the 10 unit, because that was kind of a big purchase for me.
Sure.
And I was like, I felt like I was really out on a limb with that. And it's turned out to be just one of the most phenomenal things I've ever done. But at the time, I was pretty nervous.
Yeah.
And that's what, 12 years ago, I guess.
Wow. Well, thank God you did, right? Thank God you took the risk. Absolutely,
Indeed.
man. So, Ashley, I mean, how do you identify the right markets and properties for your investments right now?
Yeah. So, our target market, just as a side note, is basically most anywhere in North Carolina, right? So we happen to know that market really well. We're from here. Our families are all over the state. And, I feel like I know somebody just about every town in North Carolina. But that's not really the reason it's our target market. It's our target market because of the inbound migration. There's so many people that are moving here.
Yep.
This is one of those states where everybody wants to be, right? Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, blah, blah. And so that's one reason. The landlord tenant laws are not too lopsided in favor one way or the other. So it's a pretty even playing field when it comes to that. The math works, not all the time, but in most of the time that we won't buy a deal unless the math works, but we're able to find deals where the math works.
Makes sense.
And so that's really why, it's a place that it's got a very bright future. And so we feel like we can count on the appreciation and the rent growth.
Absolutely. Definitely. So what are maybe just some ways that you would increase the value of a multifamily property, and just ways that you're currently doing that now?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, so today is the day of the week where we have all of our property manager meetings, and we meet just like this
Yeah.
virtually. And so I just hung up on those calls like 30 minutes ago. And so we're doing things like like I'm a big like pride of ownership kind of person. Like I
Absolutely.
believe that if a tenant's proud of where they live, that they'll take care of it. The turnover is lower, and the new tenants coming in are willing to pay more in rent because it's just a nicer place to live. They feel safe and comfortable there. So we do things like pressure wash all of the surfaces, clean everything up. We seal and stripe the parking lots, paint when it needs to be painted, update things like the dog park, the fences, the little dog stations, just little things like that overall mean a lot to the tenants. And that's the biggest thing I think, just to keep tenants happy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're going to be your best friend and your lifeline, right? So you might as well treat them right. So
They're paying the bills. That's
that's
right.
right. That's right. So let's talk about maybe just some major trends you're seeing in the multifamily space right now. How are those shaping your investment strategies? Obviously, we know you're in North Carolina, but maybe let's talk about what type of trends are you seeing and where do you see those trends going in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest trend, or the kind of sticks in my mind all the time, is
Mm,
that there just are not enough places for people to live. There,
yeah.
there are more people than there are
Yep.
places to call home. And so bottom line, the supply and demand is in the favor of the people that own the apartments, right?
Mm, mhm.
There are some temporary ups and downs there. In other words, like last year, there was a lot of new construction and new development that was delivered to the market, right? So it takes a
Right.
while to absorb that stuff. So for a snapshot, split second, maybe the vacancy rates go up a little bit, but we're already starting to see those vacancies go down in 2025. So we're already seeing occupancies up and rents starting to notch back up. So it didn't take long to absorb that new stuff.
Mhm.
And going forward, again, more people moving into our market, and there's already not enough housing for them. And so as more people move in, then the demand just keeps rising.
Right.
That's a major trend that I see.
That's very
That's
interesting.
very
That's very, very interesting. I appreciate you sharing that, my friend. Awesome, man. Well, let's talk about maybe raising capital, right? How do you approach raising capital for deals? Maybe this is also something you can talk about as well, Ashley, that you are looking to raise funds for that. And also, maybe let's give advice to, some new investors that are just looking to get funding as well. Maybe you can list out some actionable steps on, good ways how they can build relationships, right? Because we know you just can't walk up to anybody and just ask them for money, right? There's an approach to these things, and you obviously have to nurture and provide value up front to somebody, right? So I'm curious if we can talk about that.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah, sure. That's such a huge part of this.
Hmm.
Um, and even when I talk to people who want to get into this business,
Hmm.
the biggest obstacle seems to be, well, I don't have enough money. Where am I going to get the money to buy it? And
Yeah.
and the real
Yeah.
answer is that if the math works on the deal, there's more than enough money to buy it. It may not be your money. It may be, a limited partner investor or a partner
Hmm.
or a friend or family. It may be their cash. And so it's all about the relationship. If the people, if you know them and they trust you, um, then those are the most important things. And then you show them a deal that where the math works, and they're like, okay, let's give it a shot. And so that was
Right.
a big me moving from like the 10 unit that I did by myself to try to go to the bigger ones.
Hmm.
I was really scared and nervous about, oh man, where am I going to get this money? And then I was even more nervous to go ask my friends and family,
Hmm.
hey, would you like to kick in some money on this thing? And really
Yeah.
the answer that I got was, yeah, like we would love to,
Yeah.
because the returns were good and they trusted me to manage it. So that was a pretty big eye opener.
Hmm.
Um, then what I found was that eventually you run out of your own money, then you go friends and family money, and eventually if you go big enough, you'll run out of that also.
Hmm.
So then you've got to get in front of new people that you don't know, make new relationships, and build that trust, show them the math, and then you create new and happy investors as you go. But that's really, I mean, raising that capital is the key, because you're limited by what's in your own savings account. And so if you
Hmm.
want to go bigger than that, you've got to have other people to come join you.
That makes a lot of sense, Ashley. Well, let's talk about too. I know you have some really cool stuff going on right now. You definitely have some projects that you're working on, and you also are looking to raise some capital for that. You and I were speaking offline about that. So why don't you just talk on what you got going on right now and what people could look to invest in right now?
Yeah, so the where we are and is that we closed on the 196 unit property in Jacksonville, North Carolina,
Hmm.
actually on February 10th, so a month ago. And we put that property under contract back in July of
Hmm.
2024. So it was a long contract period. And in 2024, raising money was tough. It was very difficult. I'm not sure I know all the reasons why, but
Hmm.
the stock market was pretty good. Uh, the interest rates were up there kind of high. So in other words, people, if they had their money in the stock market, they were doing pretty good. If they had
Hmm.
their money and their cash in a money market or a high yield savings account, they were making pretty good money. So maybe the resistance to taking it out of those and putting it into something new maybe was a little higher. So anyway, the capital raise took us a while, and we got to the point where finally, like, okay, it's time to either close this or not close this. And we love the property. The cash flow is fabulous,
Hmm.
and the opportunity for improvement is fabulous. So we decided we want to close the deal. So we arranged like a bit of a short-term financing, I guess, if you will, that allows us to own it and now continue our capital raise, and then we'll refinance it out to some long-term debt this summer, and
Hmm.
everything's fine. So yes, so we still have room in this 196 unit deal for limited partner investors to participate.
Hmm.
So we now what I like about this is that when you go into a property before you buy it, everything is pro forma, right? You,
Hmm.
you think like, well, if I buy this, then I can increase the rents and reduce the expenses and blah blah blah. But that's all just a projection. What I like about what we have to offer now is that we already own it, so that risk is gone. We've already put into place a lot of the expense improvements that we
Hmm.
had in our pro forma because we own it. For instance, our insurance is way less than it was uh, with the previous owner. Payroll, we found some savings there, things like that. So now when we go talk to our limited partner investors, we say, hey, look, we've already put into place these things. So you're not buying a pro forma anymore. You're buying actual performance, which is much less risky.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been kind of cool when I talk to people, and I could just see that comfort level in their eyes, So that's what we're doing now. We're still raising capital, and we raise it like a $50,000 minimum, accredited investors. So it's it's one of those opportunities that allows people to get involved or maybe diversify their investments and get into real estate. Let us do all the heavy lifting and the hard work of managing it. And then we send you distributions and reports every quarter, and everybody's happy.
I love it. I love it, Ashley. Awesome, man. Well, I really wish we honestly had a lot more time, but unfortunately we don't, my friend. I feel like we could go for another hour on this. But Ashley, I appreciate you sharing, those opportunities for our audience to be able to partake in that. But why don't you just share, where they can find you, your website, your email, things like that. Obviously, we're going to drop that in the description, but why don't you just share where they can find you?
Sure thing. Yeah. Well, my email address is Ashley at ABG Multifamily.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be happy to have a phone call or a text from you. And that number is 910-409-0861. Our website is abgmultifamily.com. And on Instagram, it's ABG Real Estate. So check us out. We'd love to make connection with you.
Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Definitely be sure to reach out to Ashley. I appreciate you jumping on, my friend. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and I'm just wishing you nothing but the best in your future endeavors.
You too, Christian. Thanks for your opportunity, buddy. Good
Of
luck.
course.
Thank you.
Of course, my man. Would love to have you back on in the future. But cool, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I know I did. And as always, my friends, we will see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.